Hi everyone, and welcome to Lecture 4, where we're going to learn all about absorption and circulation. Hopefully by the end of the lecture, we're going to understand how the digestive and circulatory system work together to get nutrients to everywhere in the body. So let's first recall that by the time food and other nutrients reaches the end of the small intestine, the process of digestion is complete, with most of our digestion occurring in our small intestine, if we remember back to our previous lecture. The nutrients needed by the body are absorbed through the walls of the small intestine, where they pass into the bloodstream. From there, it is the job of our circulatory system to transport all of the nutrients to wherever they are needed in the body. So, to get started, there are two specific types of circulatory systems: open and closed. Now, specifically talking about humans and all other known vertebrates, we have what's called a closed circulatory system. This means that the blood being pumped around our bodies is found in a network of closed blood vessels that form a closed loop pumped by the main muscle of the circulatory system, the heart. Now, there are specific animals that have what's called an open circulatory system, where the blood is actually not contained in closed vessels. These types of animals are known as arthropods, include things like crabs, lobsters, most insects. Now, the benefits of the closed circulatory system in humans is actually that it's faster and much more efficient in moving that blood volume around. And today, we're going to be talking about three main components of our circulatory system. So our circulatory system is broken down into the heart, blood, and the blood vessels. The heart is the main organ that pumps blood to all the areas of our body. Blood is the fluid that transports oxygen and other nutrients to all areas of our body. And the vessels forms kind of the transport system that carries the blood. So there are three main types of blood vessels. These are the arteries, which function to carry blood away from the heart. And I like to remember arteries and away because they start with the same letter, and so arteries carry blood away from the heart. These have very thick walls because the arteries need to actually be able to resist the high amount of pressure that's required to pump blood to reach all the parts of our body. Veins carry blood back to the heart. These vessels have thin walls because the blood is no longer under lots of pressure, right? So it's been pumped out to all the areas, and now it's just returning back to the heart. Veins, importantly, do contain what are called valves, and these actually work to prevent the backflow of the blood in our veins and moving it continually towards the heart. And then capillaries, which are the smallest vessel of the circulatory system, work to connect the arteries and veins and are actually the point of direct contact with our cells and are involved in the exchange of oxygen and specific nutrients to our tissues. All right, so we understand the structure of the circulatory system, right? So we have the heart, we have the blood, we have the vessels, and we know the specific types of vessels that carry that blood. Now, the heart functions as a type of pump that propels blood through the specific vessels that we've covered to transport nutrients to everywhere in our bodies. But what is blood actually made of? So you might be surprised to learn that blood makes up about 68 to 70% of our total body mass. Blood is a liquid that contains a number of dissolved Substances and specialized cells. These cells and dissolved substances in our blood help transport what is needed around the body. This includes things like transporting gases, like oxygen, nutrients, hormones, and actually taking waste out of our bodies as well. Now, the portion of blood that is not cells, or the liquid portion of blood, is what is known as blood plasma. This makes up about 55% of blood and is actually straw colored. So it's not red like you would generally think is blood. When you separate the cells from the liquid portion is actually straw colored. So it's kind of a yellowish hue. This it's comprised of about 90% water, 10% sugars, salts, gases, enzymes, nutrients, and other hormones. And this fluid is kind of what acts as the transport medium to take all the substances around our bodies.